What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today I am here to take you through a review of the EFX Starlord Helmet. I do have a few other EFX items here. I've got the Captain America shield, I've got Thor's Mjolnir, and today I received the Starlord Helmet. EFX, wow. Overall, I'll take you through everything. They did do a good job on the helmet, but these guys are notoriously known for absolute long delays. They have zero customer service, and overall, the company itself not overly reliable on giving you updates about their products. So much so that I pre-ordered this in March of 2017. And at that time, they said it would be out in May of 2017. I got this today. It arrived this morning. This is the 24th of September of 2019. So almost a 2.5 year delay. There was no update. There was nothing from this company. I got an email from Sideshow Collectibles saying that it was going to ship not even a week ago. And that was it. It was no update, no nothing. It just showed up. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I think they did do a good job. Most of their products are good. It's just, you don't know when it's going to show up. I would never personally order from EFX Collectibles directly from them. I always do the third party, which would be Big Bad Toy Store, Sideshow Collectibles, even some good sellers on eBay that I know there. But I would never pre-order directly from EFX because they have no guarantee of when an item is going to be ready. To the best of my knowledge, the Iron Man helmet isn't even out yet, and that was up for pre-order before this helmet. Anyway, I'm going to take you through everything, break down what's good, what's bad, and more or less, hey, is this worth it? So this is the box it showed up in. Nothing special at all. It's just your standard shipper box. I guess that's what you would call it. That's what I would call it when it comes to 1/6 scale figures. I have a lot of those, and I just would call it a shipper box. It's got its name on it, what it is. Inside this box was this styrofoam box. Again, nothing special. The only art form or anything artistic about it is just this cover here, which just lifts off it. And then the helmet was inside here. You got their registration card that you can send into EFX. I won't be doing that. I don't want anything to do with EFX directly, mainly because they are not reliable. From what I've heard from people who are collecting from EFX, unless you're at a Comic-Con to get a hold of these guys, you're not going to get a hold of them. They don't answer you in emails. They don't answer phone calls. They don't do anything. So buy from third parties. Inside the box was the stand. This is just the wrap that was securing all that. The instructions. I don't even know where to begin with this. It's horrible. It's ass backwards. They tell you how to take the helmet apart. It does come in 2 different sections. I will show you that. And then it begins to tell you how to attach the display case. They pretty much tell you to attach the tall bracket to the bottom of the base. Then you attach the round base to that. Then attach the mannequin head to that. Sounds straightforward, right? Yeah, it's not, because they did it backwards, in my opinion. Here it is assembled. Okay? So, per instructions, install this bar onto this plate here. Then install this round base here on top of this. Then secure the mannequin. Simple. Okay? Except, how exactly did they expect you to be able to screw those screws into the bottom of the mannequin, which are not pre-drilled holes, to secure it. You see that? You can't. You can't get a screwdriver in there because the bottom of the base is in the way. If you're watching this before you get the helmet, screw this part into the mannequin first. Or at least pre-drill your holes first, because you do need to attach the round silica, or I guess acrylic base, to the top of this tall base. I'm going to take this apart because I can't even get that last screw in there because this is in the way. So their assembly instructions for this right off the bat is just, it's horrible. Okay, so I have disassembled the stand. I don't know what they were thinking when they made this. I undrilled, or unscrewed I should say, the mannequin from the top. They don't come with pre-drilled holes. This is the only hole that came in it. These are from what I did, just to try to get the screws in place. So you were going to drill your own holes as you go. Couldn't even get the back one in because how am I getting a screwdriver in right here against this plate? Look, I'm at such an angle here now. I'm going to strip the screw or I'm going to damage the acrylic trying to get in there. Now, what if we took this off, then screwed it into the mannequin, then put this on this part here? Common sense, right? Yeah, it doesn't work. Because the only way to get this plate onto the base is through here. So, ultimately, there's no way you're getting a screw in here because this is in the way. It's just not well thought of. Like, they did not put any thought into how to put this together. So now I'm going to... When I put this together, this was a little bit loose. As the acrylic fits into place, it starts to squeak, and I didn't want to crack it. And so I put it on. I didn't put it on too tight. And once I got the helmet on there, it was wobbly, and I don't want to risk my helmet falling over. So be aware, when you're putting this together, it's pretty shoddy. It's not going to be anything spectacular. And I honestly don't know how they're going to get that third screw in there trying to get against this other part of the base here. Like, it doesn't work. Like, it's lined up perfectly with that little arm. You're not getting a screwdriver in there. I'm going to reassemble here now, and we'll talk about the helmet itself. Okay, so it took some doing, but I did manage to get the screw in there. The problem is there's no pre-drilled holes. You have to do it on your own. And this is the best angle you're going to get. Look at this. Look at the angle. I'm nowhere near going in straight. This actually took me a good little bit of time to pretty much just take the screw and push it in with like all I had with my finger to create a small hole. And then very, very carefully screw it in. And I'm pretty sure I did strip it a little bit just because of the angle that I was going at. You can't screw that back one in straight, and there's no getting around it because you cannot fasten this part to the mannequin first because you need to screw it into this bottom plate here. So if you are going to attempt to do what I did, you need to be very careful because there is a good chance you're going to strip that screw because you're going in at such an angle. But other than that, it is assembled. And we're going to talk about the helmet here now. Alright, on to the helmet itself. This is where things get better, okay? The helmet itself, it's done well. The paint app is actually really good. There's no bleeding of the color. You can see it's actually metallic looking. The gold is really nice. You don't see any bleed from the gold onto the silver, which is great. I'm a big fan of these. These look great. They actually are I can't say wire, but you can actually feel the textures to them. Really nice. So this is apparently made from the master pattern that made the helmet for Chris Pratt as he wore it in Guardians. So essentially, they say if Chris Pratt walked into my house and put this on, it would fit him perfectly. You can see like some almost like speckles into the paint. You can wear this helmet. Okay, this is what it looks like on the inside. It's padded really well. You can put it on, you can see through it. It does look blue. It's actually really well padded. If you were to put this on, it's very comfortable. It's very light. There's almost no weight to this at all, which ultimately made me feel, when I picked it up, I was like, wow, it feels cheap. And I guess it can't really be heavy. It's a helmet. I mean, you put it on your head, it's going to hurt your neck if it's got any weight to it. So, very surprised at the weight. It's very, very light. Here's the back. Two-piece construction. Apparently that is screen accurate. Now, little nitpick. These are the little screws that you have to put in to hold the two-piece construction in place. All right. This is what I'm afraid of. Taking this on and off, or at least putting the screws on and off, it's going to wear your paint up. Look at that. That's almost chipped there already. Luckily, when I put the screw in, you don't really notice that paint chip that happened. But as soon as I unscrewed this, that little bit of paint, it just chipped right off the bat. I don't know if they didn't wait for the paint to dry before they assembled it. Let's have a look at the other side there. And you can kind of see a similar thing going on here. Again, the screws go on, you don't really notice it, so it's not that big of a deal. Also padded. These do feel pretty flimsy. I guess it's not a bad thing because it's got to fit into the helmet itself. But ultimately, you know, again, you can wear this if you want. I wouldn't recommend it because, for one, if you wear this out to, like, say, a costume party or a Halloween party, it's not like the Black Panther helmet that I have from Killer Body, which is right here. This thing snaps off in the back. It's plastic, and you can snap it back in, no screws required. This is the Taurus Studios. That doesn't even fit on a head. You can't wear that. And then I've got the Iron Man helmet there. You can wear that. Same thing with the Black Panther one. It just snaps off the back. You put it on, you can snap the back on, and you can wear it. Okay? So you're at a party, you want to take it off, quickly, take it off. You actually have to unscrew and rescrew these to keep your helmet in place. So you're not going to go wearing this anywhere unless you're going to walk around all night with a screwdriver in your pocket and have someone, oh, hey, can you help me take my mask off? So what are you going to do? You're going to go to a party, you'll have a few drinks, and then you're going to have people who are slightly intoxicated start to unscrew the helmet off you? No, you're not. You're going to damage your helmet. And at the price point for $700 US, no, you're not going to wear this. So, in my opinion, not a good idea. Ultimately, they did a good job on the helmet itself. The paint app is great. The look of it is great. You put it on, it does feel pretty good. Let's get this guy back on the stand and have another look. All right, back on the stand for one final look. These are limited edition. There's 750 of these produced, and I have 247. Ultimately, I am happy with the helmet. Something is bothering me. It does feel cheap to me. I pick it up, and it's very light. And, I question myself, like, why does that bother me? Why does it have to feel heavy to feel expensive? It's like I'm taken back to the Jurassic Park original movies, like, oh, those goggles, are they heavy? Yeah, it's like, we'll put them back. They're expensive. Why does it have to be heavy to feel expensive? I don't know. Realistically, this is made from the mold, the same mold that made Chris Pratt's helmet. How can they make it heavy and let this actor, run around on set for hours on end, and not hurt his neck? It has to be lightweight. So I get it. Not a fan of the screws. To me, when you look at it side on, it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. I'm not sure how that's screen accurate. Did they actually screw this on Chris Pratt's head? I don't know. No, it must have been another end. I don't know what this is. Is this supposed to be the little tiny thing he hits and then the helmet retracts off his face? Because it's not on the other end. It's not symmetrical. So whatever this is here, it's not on the other end here. I don't know what that is. And as much as I've tried to look it up, I don't know. But it does come to mind when he's wearing the helmet that is the side he touches. And the helmet comes back off his head. So that's the only logical thing I can come up with. The mannequin, what can I say? It's a mannequin. It's cheap plastic. You got to drill your own hole in it, for God's sakes, to assemble this. Price point of $700 US plus shipping. I'm in Canada. I have to pay an exchange rate and the duties that come across. So for me, this was almost $1,100. It's hard to say it's worth it in that sense. The only thing that can make me feel, oh yeah, it's worth it, I paid $1,100 for this, is because it's limited edition. And because it's made from the original mold from the actual helmet. And I've tried going to Legend Studios and trying some of theirs, and I had the Ant-Man helmet. I wasn't happy with that. I thought it was very, again, cheaply made, because it is cheaply made. Ultimately, yes, I am happy with this. I don't foresee me selling it anytime in the near future. But the wait for this was unbelievable. They were over 2.5 years delayed. No updates, no communication, no nothing. And I've got a rattle inside my Mjolnir. So I actually contacted them. You'll be able to hear this, hopefully. Hopefully you can hear that rattle. I contacted them and say, hey, there's a rattle inside my helmet, inside my hammer. It's written on the instructions when your stuff comes that you pride yourself on, the most authentic items, and that if there's anything wrong, to please contact you. They don't answer you. Unless you're trying to buy something from them, they're not going to answer you. So buy from third parties. Sideshow will, cover you. Big Bad Toy Store, they'll cover you. EFX, they aren't going to cover you. Those eyes are cool too. I gotta say, like you can see like the little mesh look inside them. Are really cool. Anyway, I realize I'm probably being a little harsh on EFX, but I gotta say I'm a little sour on certain things. Like, I've got 3 other items. I do love them. I love my cap shield. It's not shiny. They pass it off as, oh, the cap shield has 2 versions. The hero version, which is the really heavy, shiny version that he uses for up-close shots. And then he's got this version where he's running around, he's doing his stunts, and you can actually notice that it's not glossy and shining in the movies. And I actually did find a couple of scenes where that's true. So I know they take their molds from the originals, and they're doing the best they can at the price point they can. But again, they're not cheap. And, I wonder, are we paying because, it's the original mold that they're using? Are we paying because of the limited edition? What are we actually putting, our good, hard-earned money into for these products? Anyway, this is my review. Hopefully you found it helpful. Maybe you'll be more inclined to purchase this. Maybe you won't. Ultimately, it does look good when you put this with other helmets. I have no doubt it's gonna look good. If you're, you know, a collector of helmets, absolutely, I think you'll love this. If you're a wide variety of, you know, collectors, like for me, I collect Transformers. I collect Legos. I've got a huge display of 1/6 scale figures. And then I have some helmets that I've started to collect, you know, prop replicas. You know, if you're focusing mainly on prop replicas and helmets, yeah, I think you're going to love this. If you've got a lot of other things you're collecting, you know, you might be able to put this $700 into two, maybe even three 1/6 figures if that's what you're into. Anyway, hopefully you found this helpful. If you have any questions at all, send me a message. I'd be happy to help you guys out. Once again, this has been the EFX Starlord Helmet.